Happy February, everybody. Just yesterday, I was sitting in my office going over a mammogram with a friend of mine. She asked me to look at her films. Not that she didn't trust the radiologist that read them, but she wanted my opinion as a breast cancer expert. So when we looked at her x-rays, I told her, you really have very, very dense breasts. And because your breasts are dense and because you have a family history, you probably qualify for MRI screening as well. And when I opened up her report to read it to her about how her breast imaging was reported, at the bottom, it included information that said that she has a Tyrer-Cuzick risk score of over 20% lifetime risk of breast cancer, and therefore she will qualify for MRI screening. Well, I saw the surprise in her eyes because the report she got from the hospital told her that her screening was fine and she could come back next year. There was no mention of an MRI. She is in the midst of switching primary care doctors. And so it was a really important moment because what I realized is that the information that I see sometimes as the physician isn't always translated to the patient. So she clearly needs to be getting MRIs for screening based on her breast density and her family history. Well, this morning on Facebook, my colleague Jennifer Montes posted a link to the news channel from my hometown in Pennsylvania that the Pennsylvania State Senate just unanimously voted on Bill 595 that would, if it's voted into law, which I need it to be, would require insurance companies, not just suggest, but require insurance companies to cover MRIs for patients that have a genetic predisposition, have a high risk based on their family history, based on the Tyrer-Cuzick model, which is a model where we look at the entire family history, the BMI, any prior biopsies, and you receive a score based on those parameters that tell us whether or not you're at risk for breast cancer. In addition, between 40 and 50% of women have dense breasts, and what that means is that the fibrous portion of your breast is more prevalent than the fatty portion. So if you can imagine trying to find a polar bear in a snowstorm, not too easy to find that polar bear, but if we have the opportunity to gently slide through images or get a different type of image, such as a whole breast ultrasound or an MRI, we can then find those polar bears hiding in the snowstorm so that women with dense breasts aren't left with breast cancer in their breast that we can't detect. So the importance of this Bill 595 that will go for a vote in the House of Representatives in the state of Pennsylvania is really important. So I need all my patients, all my friends. I'm going to call. I still own a house in Pennsylvania. I want to make sure that every woman in the state of Pennsylvania picks up the phone and calls their representative to vote yes for Bill 595 so that dense-breasted women, women at high risk, and that all women that need to have additional ultrasound or MRI screening will have it covered by their insurance companies. And the importance of this is that with Pennsylvania as a state leading the charge in women's health, then other states such as Arizona and every other state in the continental and greater U.S. will be able to follow suit to be able to provide a higher level care for women. So the call to action here, ladies and men, is pick up the phone, call your representatives, make sure that they know to vote yes for Bill 595 to cover a higher level of screening when it comes up for vote in the Pennsylvania House of Representatives. Thanks.